This is Travis Newsom. Our tutorial for today is for middle school and elementary school students, or if you're being introduced to the game of dominoes for the very first time, you would find this tutorial quite helpful as well. Today we're going to focus on dominoes that we call repeaters. The reason they are called repeaters is because these dominoes can be used to score immediately after your opponent has scored. So let's take a look at some examples here. The first repeat I want to talk about is the ace deuce. And here is a case how the ace deuce would create a score for you. If a person has played using the double ace, well then you can see if you take the ace deuce, you did not change the 2. At first that was 8 and 2 are 10 points. You played the ace deuce, you didn't change. You still have the 8 on this end, and you have 2 on that end, will be your 10 points. Okay? If a person has scored using the 4 deuce, that is because a person has just scored using the double deuce. So the double deuce, once it's played and scored with, you can always use the 4 deuce. This is the 6th tray or the 6th 3. You can always score with this domino after a person has scored with the double 3. And the double blank, of course, you can always score with this domino if a person has scored using a blank, and you will get the same points that your opponent got. Either of these 4 dominoes here, each of these 4 dominoes will give you the same points that your opponent got. Now let's take a look at these up here. The ace tray can be used to score only after a person has scored with the double tray. The 4 tray can be used to score only after a person has scored with the double 4 exposed to one end. Let's go back to our example here what we used for this 10 points. Now you can see here, if we take the 4 tray and play it behind the double 4, you have 3 on this end and 2 on that end, so you get 5 points. So only after the person has scored with the double 4. In order to score with the 6 deuce, a person will have to use the double 6 to score. Then you can play the 6 deuce and score. You'll score 10 points less than the person that played the double 6, but at least you will score. And the ace 6 is my favorite domino. I just love it. You can use it to score 2 ways. If a person has scored using an ace, then you can play on that ace and get 5 points more than your opponent. Or if a person has scored using a 6, then you will play on the 6 and you will get 5 points less than the opponent. The blank 5 is the really fancy, powerful domino. You can use it to score 5 more points than your opponent, or if you use it to play against the double 5, you could possibly get 10 points less than your opponent. Or if you play it immediately after double 5, you will get the same 10 points as your opponent got. But you can also get 10 points less than your opponent in some cases. And the double 5 is just a great domino to have in your hand. That means you will get 5 points more than your opponent got, because you've increased it from 5 to 10 points. The repeaters are very, very important in the game of dominoes. If you can learn to master the repeaters, you can become a very effective domino player. I would just like to encourage you to sit at your table and create some scenarios using each of these dominoes so you'll know how they work, and you then will be on your way to becoming a domino star.